going to talk a little bit through some Bluebeam. And today, you know, we know a lot of you guys are construction contractors, manufacturers, and maybe some utility companies out there. And we want to, I also know you might have a wide variety of end users. This is largely a PDF program. And so, but it's not just limited to, you know, drawings, and we'll talk probably predominantly about that today, but also your people who are dealing a lot with word processing documents, the contracts, your marketing people, accounting people. And so just wanted to show you that while you may be looking at drawing documents today, and I'm going to show you a couple as we start out things on a word processing document that we can do, that these workflows as far as managing your PDFs, making edits, the absolute control you have over making quick edits in the PDF and markups to pass on to somebody else. All of these things apply across all of those disciplines. And so don't shy away and go, oh, this isn't for me just because I'm seeing some drawings up there. If you're an admin or marketing or accounting person, stay with me and keep following those workflows. They'll be very helpful. Also, across those multiple disciplines, you know, these same things are going to apply. So if you're looking at, you know, manufacturing, you know, mechanical engineering shop type drawing, or if you're looking at a, you know, construction, architectural or civil type drawing, we're talking about manipulating the drawings in the PDF. So all of these things will apply as we go through those. I'm gonna, you know, our goal here today, you know, was to talk about, you know, 3 things, hit these 3 points that, you know, the cost savings and the efficiencies that come from using Bluebeam workflow. You know, no matter how big or small you are, you know, if you're on an old school paper system, you know, that works. I want you to see some of the efficiencies though of moving over to digital and getting on Bluebeam. And if you're on some other PDF editing software, or you're like, I don't even know what PDF, I just double click PDF and it pops up. I don't know what I'm doing with which application I'm using, you know, how much Bluebeam will help you, you know, up that efficiency, and, you know, cost savings come with that. Immediate design updates, we'll get into some of that towards the end in that studio project piece, and seeing how the team can all share and collaborate, check things out, check things in. Always have access to a read-only version, like those immediate updates. We'll get into that, and a lot of this just the markups, tools for comparing, and, you know, the workflow of keeping a sample workflow of keeping red lines and markups and revisions all organized. You know, that goes with this, just organizing and maintaining the latest set of plans, you know, point here that we're trying to hit in our webinar today. That's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. Here's a little bit about me. My name's Alan Bliss. I'm out here in San Diego. I'm an applications expert here at IMAGINiT. And, you know, I've been working the past few years in this Autodesk reseller channel and Bluebeam reseller channel. And so I have a big background on the civil side. Past decade before that, got into some roles in, you know, a lot of training and CAD management for big and small firms, mostly here in San Diego, but throughout Southern California, and built my way and cut my teeth into that just as a drafter and designer roles in just various civil engineering firms and some environmental and geotech as well. Sorry, biotech. That's what everything is here in San Diego, but no, I didn't work in that, geotech. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Feel free to tag me there on LinkedIn. I'm Alan-Bliss, Alan-Bliss, that's me. All right, let's jump in to some of the sample stuff that I got for you here today. All right, I'm gonna throw my Bluebeam on top of the PowerPoint. Hopefully that's working clean. If you don't see my Bluebeam up right now, maybe one of my moderators will holler at me, and we'll jump into that. This first thing that I have was, you know, editing a PDF that's a word processing document. For those of you who are like, I'm not going to deal with drawings, or everybody deals with word processing documents anyway, let's look at this. All right. So we have this complete control. We have these tools in here to edit PDF content. Let's say you have these 3 bullet points here on the, you know, C paragraph. I can go right in there. I can cut, just like an old school cut and paste, like you would imagine. You're actually cutting this out on the paper, like you're doing a paper workflow. Cut, it's just gone. It's gone right there, out of there. Let's say you needed to put that at the end of this document. It's a real paste. You just hit paste right there. It's just like pasting it in on your old school cut and paste type paper. I have that in the section right there. Let's say I need to delete that now because I want to put those 3 bullet points there, and then I'm going to clean it up, line it up. Go to my PDF content, can erase that content right there. This is the kind of control you're going to get with the Bluebeam review software. And for these quick little edits, you know, we definitely aren't trying to take over with, you know, get rid of Microsoft Word or Google Docs or whatever you use. It's just these quick little edits. You can do really good work real quick if you got to just ship something out. The person who typed it up, you know, didn't give you the doc file or whatever. You want just, that's the only edit you need. You got to ship it out. It's Friday afternoon. You can just do those quick little things. It's a good one. Let's see. I have more fun for us. Who's ready for more fun? Can we have more fun than that? Impossible. Just a second. Let me get the Bluebeam review off of there. Advance my next slide. Come on, meow. There we go. Let's talk about editing up some line work. In a drawing. So we can draw some actual line work on our Bluebeam review software. Again, we're not trying to make it a new CAD drafting replacement. You're still going to want your AutoCAD, your Revit, your whatever that you're mainly drafting in. But let's say it's Friday afternoon and your drafter, you know, has got this on a weird layer or something. There needs to be another arrow right there and it's missing. We can draft that in, no problem. We've got our tools. We can put little snaps on so they snap onto those objects. You can hold control and it gives you a nice ortho type feel where it gives it nice and straight. You get that puppy on there. Oh, I wanted to do something else. Let me see. Let's go line. Go line. Come on now. There we go. And give me one more. Give me an arrow right there. There we go. Quick little edits, and we can clean them up as we go. You have little bits of control. You can change that arrow type if it didn't look right. You can change the color. You can get quick little things filled in real quick, just things so you can get them marched out the door without any further need to draft it up. You can keep cleaning that up as necessary, get things to match. I think you get the idea. You can get that shipped out quickly. And so things that you would have to send back to the drafter and wait for a new revision, you can put quick little drawing and line work up there. It defaults into the red line type thing to do markups. But you can change those colors up and you can add them in as line work. So there's just some quick efficiencies and cost savings. Those are the kind of control you wish you had in your PDF editor. To make it just like those old days of hand drafting, you can just add things on there. Let's talk about some more of the markup tools. This is going to be focused mostly on drawings, but these markup tools, if you find yourself ever marking up, you know, Word documents, all of them, it'll work on any kind of PDF. Get my review all set up with a new set of sample files. And the review's coming back at you. All right. So here in our tools, we have our markup. And the cool thing about Bluebeam Review that's different from AutoCAD a little bit is, in AutoCAD, you have your buttons up top, you have your menus, you have your command line, you have your bottom buttons down here, you got buttons on the sides, left and right, you got special palettes and tool things that pop up. Everything that you can do in Review is organized and can be done from these buttons, from the menus up top. So it's all organized and 100% of the commands are up here in these buttons. So that's a huge one. Let's go look at the markup. Everything else that you're seeing here is just a shortcut to the menu. You also have these commands here, shortcut commands, much like AutoCAD. You can get that kind of workflow going. Type in a T, type in an R, and it'll evoke that command for you. You got your normal text box. You can write in whatever notes you like. Please display the landscaping. Something, whatever your note may be. Highlight for me. Thank you. Make them bigger. You can change your fonts, all that kind of stuff. That's your text box, normal text box type stuff. You have a typewriter, just like the olden days. Maybe more so here for your, not so much your markups, but a quick little note, revision number 1. What was the revision issue, for review and the date, Got a little typewriter tool. And you can drag and drop all those little pieces of text that you put in, change their font size, all that kind of stuff. You can always keep cleaning those things up as you go. Let me keep showing you more stuff though. You got these quick little post-it notes. They're real fun. You can put those in when you don't want a red line displaying. I can say, can we add a comma to this number? And you click, and then those post-its are just sitting there on the document. Keep going. We got lots of fun stuff. We got a call out, smart little call out. Please label the radius, dimensions, something like that. These things are very cool. You can right click on them, add another layer, add another leader as necessary. We have, when we make these custom type markups, you can add them to a customized tool chest. I've got one here with my initials. Just right click on it and add to tool chest, tell it which tool box I want it to go in. I'm going to go in with my initials. And there it is. There's that new one that I just made. Now I can just click it for any kind of typical markup, whether it be a punch key, a code, a symbol. It could even be a call out like this. It'll come in with the text and the leaders just like I saved it. So you're able to do all those kind of things. Let's keep looking what else there is. There's always more fun. You got a pen, so you can free draw directly whatever you need to draw. You got a highlighter if you're from that kind of workflow. That's what I came up in. Your boss gave you your red lines. Once you were done with the red line, you highlighted it yellow and you turned it back in to communicate. You dealt with that, That's still possible. You have complete control to do it however. We have a manual eraser. And then here's all those drafting tools to put all the shapes in. So if senior engineer, project manager, someone who's not all up in on CAD, they can pull up some lines, arrows, polylines, circles. They can sketch out what they want to see right there, just like they would if they were doing it by hand. We got some stamps that are all ready to go. You can put your engineer seal in there, put it for review, put it for preliminary, and you just throw that stamp on there. You program these. These are all fully customizable, but these are the ones that come out of the box with the install. Approved. You're approved. Maybe for a loan document. I wish. All right. Maybe the measure tool. We got some fun stuff in there. Let's try another. Let's go to another place. I got a construction drawing or an architectural drawing over here. And so we can do some markups with the measure tool. So we can tell it where we want these to go. Say like maybe you want to denote to the drafter that you want these, you know, done every 60 foot, something like that. You'll notice it smartly already understood the scale, and that's huge with Bluebeam Review. These PDFs that are made from your AutoCAD, whatever drafting application, it will put the scale into that PDF. And then it also, Bluebeam Review also has a lovely tool for documents that are created without a scale, where you can take a known dimension. So if the scale didn't come in on this, we can associate that known dimension, that 30 feet. We just put a little tool on it, boom, boom, and we tell it that's 30 feet. It puts it to scale automatic for us. And even for those documents that you maybe took a picture of at the archive down at the city or county office, took a picture on your iPhone, that's the document that you have. You can take that known dimension, boom, boom. And if it needs some XY rotation, you have tools to do that as well. So scan document, a photo of a document, we can get those all lined up and to scale. So these measuring tools work just with a click. You can get that scale on there quick. Lots of sketch to scale, all other kinds of markup features and tools. I want to show you another cool thing that is awesome in Bluebeam Review, which is difficult, if not impossible, in any other program. Firstly, before I go to that, I forgot to tell you, all of the markups that we keep, it keeps a nice markup list here. And these are awesome, these markup lists. We can keep track of these. They have an author. You can put your notes and comments in here to full detail. You can associate a certain color, a certain, all kinds of things. You assign each markup to a person on the team. That person can, after they've seen this PDF and it's been assigned to them, they can click on it and they can reply to that comment, and they can put a reply comment to it. So you can keep track of everything all in your markup list. You can export this markup list and it'll make a smart markup PDF summary. You can append that even to the back of your current PDF with smart hyperlinks. And it puts a little thumbnail image of each markup, which is a game changer. Here's my thumbnail image of each markup. All right. This is appended now as page 2 and 3 to that page 1. And I can click on it. It'll zoom me right in to that markup. Put my zoom on. It gives me a little thumbnail image of each markup, the full amount of content, all of that stuff. Very, very cool. You have layer management control. You can turn on and off layers that came in from the AutoCAD or whatever drafting you have. You have so much control in this. It's amazing. Let's talk about that thing I was saying, 3D PDFs. Let's take a look. We can go into 3D PDFs. Yep, you can make them. And look at that. 3D PDFs, it's a game changer. And we can mark these up. Now you can just imagine the manufacturing context, your shop drawings, your construction workflows. If you're doing a walkthrough on the building and you're doing as-builts, and maybe you've got, you can walk through with your 3D PDF. If it's something you don't want to just put on the individual shop drawings or the individual sheets that are cut for construction, you can't figure out what room you're in, you can do it all in here. Pull up my tool chest. There we go. I could use a punch key system, maybe, what do we got? Maybe a painter, touch-up paint. Doesn't have to be this for construction. I put that touch-up paint. Come on, meow. There we go. Touch-up paint on that wall. Lighting, got a lighting issue in that room. Put it on that wall. And you can see, just like all my other comments, it's going to put them all here. I can make that kind of dynamic PDF markup sheet, and it'll give me a little thumbnail view of it. I can click on it. It'll zoom me in right there on the 3D PDF. You can, where'd my other 3D PDF go? You're over here. When you're in your 3D PDF, let's see, does this one want to? This one want to play? A little graphics slowdown. There we go. So here's a 3D PDF printout. And 3D, we have a plugin with the Bluebeam review. We'll plug in directly to AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Revit, Navisworks, or SketchUp Pro, where you can just click one button and it'll pull out a 3D PDF for you. I can be in here and I can click on all my, like my selection tree in Revit. I can just select that actual item. There's my kitchen island. I can say that piece on the kitchen island. I can click that and go, yep, that's the piece that I need. That's the one that had the, paint, whatever issue. Put that note on there. Zoom myself back out. Go to the default view, maybe. There we go. So now, and then you can see these little blue things. Let me know there's a markup in there. I can zoom into my markups. I can zoom into my items on my selection tree. And so those 3D PDFs right now, I just hit the comment and then I zoom me into that item there on the kitchen cabinet inside the building. So I can walk around inside the building, can do all of that kind of stuff. So fun. Lastly, with 3D PDFs, let me show you another fun one. This one. You can put a 3D view on your sheet. So here's a cut sheet with the elevation plan. And then I can put a 3D viewport right here on my sheet and it's ready to go. I can zoom in, pan around, orbit on this. And let's say I'm walking around on the job or whatever, I can start putting in some punch keys on that. Maybe I got some exposed wiring on that one. Exposed wiring on that one. All right, that looks good. I got those markups in. Let me zoom in here. Maybe say that outlet, I got some, and this could work just as well in a manufacturing, a mechanical object that you have. You can pull up the 3D view, put comments in on whatever little part is going on there. So you got exposed wires right here, or let's do another one. I got wrong location of outlet. Maybe I'm missing a faceplate over here, just to put a couple different ones, because I'm going to show you another cool thing. All of our Bluebeam tool chests here, they have something called a smart legend. And remember, this can be any kind of customized markup that you do that are in these little toolboxes. I was just working in the punch key electrical one. And so I can make a legend, create a new legend, and then I drop that in. There it is. And I'm going to zoom in here. And then look at this. It's keeping account of all the markups that I've done. And let's say you're in a situation where like, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to put a few of my markups here on the plan sheet. I put a couple in the 3DF model. I put a couple over here. It's going to tally them up. It's a dynamic tally. Those two that I just added for MF, I had one before, now I have three. Every time I add one of these, it updates that dynamically. I just put one right here in a random spot in paper space, it puts it right there. If I start putting some call outs or whatever else I have in here, make sure to schedule pickup of custom parts before visiting site for install. Something like that. Oh, a nice spell check. That bills me out. If spelling's paid $1 million a year, I'd be the best speller on the planet, I promise you. Okay. Here we go. We have this dynamic legend. I mean, that's a game changer. You can just imagine all the uses of that for quality control, quality management, all of that kind of stuff. You can have your drafter, your journeyman, your machinist or whatever. They can count all the markups, make sure that they're seeing them all. When the senior person is checking their work, doing their quality control stuff, they can count all the comments they gave right here on this list, make sure they're not missing one. They can go through them. You also have down here your comments list. You can go through them, have a checklist, go off of them one by one, making sure that they're done and resolved. so many workflows that we can involve with all of these things just for efficiency, quality control management, all that stuff. It's a game changer, all of these tools that are there. And we can get a lot of efficiency, a lot of quality control with all of it. All right. So much fun stuff. That 3D PDF stuff gets me so excited if I sounded like I just woke up. I'm not sitting here drinking coffee. It's the 3D PDFs. All right. Let me get rid of this. Got a lot going on graphically here. Come on, keep up, machine. All right. So we talked about a lot of the markup tools and we walked through some of those. Next, I wanted to talk about just kind of some of, let's say we're in these situations where we're doing some markups. We send them out. Maybe it's like 2 or 3 markups. You're managing 20 different projects. And then for every project, you know, you got a dozen different sets of plans that apply to that project. So I feel your pain. You're going to get 2 PDFs and you might go, well, I don't know which one is which. I don't know which one's the updated one. I don't know. I can't even tell where there's changes. We have in Bluebeam Review a cool tool that will highlight all those changes for you. Let me show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. It's coming right up. Bluebeam Review 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Come on now. Come on now. Get on over there. All right. Bluebeam Review should be on top of the PowerPoint now. Lovely. I'm going to get rid of that markup list, get some real estate back here. Get rid of that tool chest, get some real estate back here. So let's say you got, you know, an A version and a B version. You're in those kind of situations. You don't know what's what. They look the same to me. Okay, whatever. Here's our A version where we did a red line markup. All right, and we told them what to do. But let's say we can't find that. We have a tool called our compare tool. We got a couple tools I want to show you, but first I'm going to show you our compare tool. We go to our compare documents. We add one file, and it can be a series of sheets. Doesn't have to be just a one sheet. I'm going to go Office Plan A is one of them. I'm going to add another file. I'm going to call it Office Plan B for the other one. And I tell it match those pages. There we go. We got a match. I hit OK. Go ahead and go with those defaults. It runs a compare for me. And it gives me a document that looks like this. And it has a construction, clouds, around, and a highlight showing you here's the differences in those 2 documents. Pops them right up. It was we had a note to change, swap the furniture in those 2 offices, and widen this door and remove that furniture. That work had been done, and look, it's telling you, here's the difference in those 2 documents. The Bluebeam Review did this construction cloud for me and highlighted it with those colors, gave me all those changes that had happened. Similarly, we have a overlay pages workflow that we can run through, where I put options A and B, the 2 different documents in there, and it'll pop out. I tell it, I can associate with it what colors I want, and it'll pop out like this. It'll say, your first one was red, your new version here is green. And so I can see right here the differences in the 2. And you can use this for documenting the changes that you've made in the design process. You can keep these on file. You go, well, we did 1 revision, here it is, here's our billable event, maybe, I don't know. Lots of efficiencies that can happen from this. Here's a document for a change order, a billable event, something like that. You can have you can associate whatever colors, all that kind of stuff is customizable, but you can show the difference in a couple different PDFs with this tool. It's really good. Let's talk about some more fun. Can we have more fun than this? Oh yeah, there's so much more fun. Let's see, what else do I got on my side? We talked about the overlay tool. Let's talk about what we can do with a slip sheet and how we can pop that in. And what that would mean is taking the original sheet and its markups, and then I could take my markups and have them overlaid on the correct version, and then it would give me the old version, and it would have that stamped with an old sheet that says superseded. This is a sample workflow that we could have to keep sheets up to date and show the revision history. Let me get my sample files all loaded up here. All right. And here we go. I got my red line markup. I got my completed work here. That's Office Plan B there. I got my red line markup. And let's say I want the new changes to show up here under those red lines. I can go in here and do a batch slip sheet. I tell it which files I want. My red line markup. And I say my revised file there is the Office Plan B. And this could work with a word processing document, a construction document, any kind of document where you're trying to see the difference. You want to see your red lines and then your new stuff come back on top of it. I'm going to hit match pages. There we go. I let it know that that's a match. I let it know I want to insert the revised page before the current page and stamp a current page with superseded. I hit OK. And then boom, I punch the mic while I talk. There we go. I got this right here where this is the new work. You can see I had 2 desks on there. Now it's a widened door. So that markup has been addressed. You can see the markup being addressed underneath. And so I can keep this as a copy. And it has the original version with my markups on it. And it has superseded stamped across it. Bluebeam Review did all of this. I didn't do any of it. And then it moved that, it kept my comments. And if you have hyperlinks and you have photos that you can add in and post-it notes or whatever, you can keep all those on the drawing with the new line work. We have this ability to drag and drop from Windows Explorer right into our thumbnail view right here. So I might take the full Office Plan B, now that full file, and put it in front. In there, I'm going to drop it in. Just like that, with the click, I dropped Office Plan B, the full final version. I'm going to put it at the front, page 1. Then I've got the full final version with the markups. I've got this one, the original version with the markups. Let's say I also want my my difference. Let me throw that in there. Remember that one, the difference, where it showed me the differences between the two documents, so I can document that, how it got done, my overlay. Throw that in. Can show all of these, and this is a good revision history you can keep. All right, here's the original with its markups. It got superseded. Here's the differences in the new submitted drawing where changes were made. Here's the old and the new overlaid with different colors. Here's the new with the original comments. And here's the final new one. Just a sample workflow to keep all of these things organized. All of these things are customizable, but here's how we can take a few tools and put them all together into one big thing. I am going to slide this over here real quick. Advance my PowerPoint. Put you over here. Let's see if I could show you a couple more things before our time is wrapped. Let's get into the piece of doing these immediate design updates and organizing those. We're going to use the Bluebeam Studio a little bit. Get my Bluebeam ready for you. Just a second. Here it comes. Whew. Nice clean Bluebeam for you. Had to clean it up, make it presentable. Okay. So our studio lives right here. We have a button for it, just like our tool chest, just like we pop through layers and thumbnails. We can get to our studio. It's real snappy. There's not lag really at all. This is the cloud. This is where all our cloud interaction is. I can make a new project, which I'm going to do for you right now. We're going to call this Webinar Day Office Floor Plan. Give it a second. Just like that, a new project has been made in the cloud. It's all here. I'm ready to upload files. I can make folders, start organizing a whole folder and file hierarchy. It's ready to go. It gives me a unique project ID, kind of like a Zoom meeting ID, this 9-digit code. You can hand that out to your friends, and they can help them join the project. You can set permissions for all kinds of things, add and invite users, just like you would imagine and expect. But I want to show you this idea of keeping everything up to date. I'm going to upload a file. Upload a file. I got that complete document set right here of that office plan that we've been working on, and we have all the different revision sheet hierarchy in there. I'm going to upload it real quick. Just like that, that massive PDF gets uploaded in there. Yeah, whatever. All right, I got my PDF here. I could look through all those thumbnails. So we got our overlay, we got our differences, we got the new with the red line notes, and we got the superseded, a 5-sheet item on here. I click right here on my little lock. Right now I'm just in view only mode. It's locked up. I can check it out. This is in the library for my project in the cloud. It's just read only mode. Anybody can see it. I check it out. That checks it out to me and just me. Nobody else can be in it, while only one person can check it out at a time. It's just like being at the library, old school. I can come in here and play around with it, make any edits I want, any markups I want. Let's say I want to remove, let's say these sheets are considered redundant, this showing the construction cloud change and this one showing the differences. And it's decided we're going to take that construction cloud showing the change. We're going to take that sheet out. Just right click on it, delete that page, hit OK. All right, nicely done. That's all that work is good. I go in here, update the server copy, that saves it. It asks me to make a comment every time I check it in or update the server copy. And I say removed, redundant, change summary sheet. There we go. It updated the server copy. Now, anybody who went in to see this in the read-only mode, they would now be seeing the new copy. I can check it back in when I'm done with my changes. Put a note every time. All right, so we checked it in. Now I'm just looking at the read-only version here in the library. Look at my thumbnails. It's just a 4-sheet document now, no longer 5 sheets. Can look at my revision history. See that here. Remove the redundant sheet. Who did it? What time they did it? You can see all those revisions that happened. You can restore them. You can open the previous version. It keeps an older, it keeps an archived version of every change that's made, and you can restore those. So game-changing type control over keeping things most up to date as possible, letting people check them in and out, so that way only one person's in it at a time. You got that kind of control. And your user controls, when you invite people, you can say they can't check it in or out. Like you can invite, a third-party contractor in to view these documents so they have the most up-to-date versions, and you can take away their control to check them out so they can't make any edits. All of those kind of things that you would expect are in there, and the versioning in here is awesome. Every time a new version's made, it's stored there, and you can restore it. Not much more you can ask for. It's so slick and easy. It is not clunky. Things are real quick, and you barely can tell you're on the cloud. It's very nice, very, very nice. This projects here in the studio. There's so much I want to tell you guys about, so much, but that's what I have for you prepared today. A Bluebeam studio project. And yeah, let's summarize what we talked about today, but thank you guys for sitting through it. We went through, and talked about those cost savings and efficiencies here in Bluebeam, how we can make some immediate design updates, and just organizing and maintaining a set of plans, just the different ways you can interact with all the tools, a sample workflow for keeping revisions and that. We went through a lot of the markup stuff, how you can make direct edits and line work and draw things, circles, lines with arrows. You can just draft right on there if you got some quick changes to make. Same thing with word processing documents. You can get right in there, edit the text, move things around. Real easy. Complete control like you would expect. 3D PDFs, just game changer on those. The compare and the differences tools, and how it overlays those. And yeah, just some of that collaboration piece. Pretty cool. This is my info, my LinkedIn and all of that stuff on there. We'd love to go into the weeds on, there's dozens, if not hundreds of more little workflows and buttons we can go through to show you little things, a complete training, 4 or 8 hours of formalized training on Bluebeam. You can be, total expert. It's not like AutoCAD or Civil 3D where you got weeks ahead of you or anything like that. Just learning where all the different tools are. All the basic tools are very intuitive, and then learning all those little fun things like the Smart Legend and how to deal with the comments and markup history and that kind of stuff. We can show you that stuff is real easy and quick too. Everything's real slick, and when you click on something, it works, and just a real reliable program. So couldn't say enough good stuff about it. If you guys want some more further information or to schedule a demo, contact your IMAGINiT rep. If you don't know who that is, we got an 800 number on there, and they can sort you out and put you on the right place. I think that is what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for spending your midday hour here with me, and I really appreciate the time and everything that you guys do, going out there in the manufacturing, utility, construction, or whatever field you're in, just doing it for the common good. And I hope this is a good tool for you to just make your work that much better. I appreciate you.